you would always want to be on the side of having good credit.
Do you think Hayes will have good credit? Sadly, in 2025, man, realistic companies like Solid Foundation Finances or Sturgis Credit Repair, we post actual results and actual time frames and realistic reasons why things can be deleted. But unfortunately, real results doesn't sell in 2025. People want to get up on TikTok and see some 10-second clip of somebody stating how they can sweep their credit profile within 7 days or 24 hours or 3 days or whatever the case is. Although this is obviously not true and there's no way to delete everything on your credit within 7 days, people still fall for this. So how do you think this is even possible? Do you think it's just people just don't think for themselves? Because if every single thing can be swept or deleted off of your credit within a short time frame, bad credit would never exist, right? So how do you think people are even falling for this stuff?
What that saying is again, if
If it's
something
too
too good,
good to be true, it's not true.
that's right. So definitely, man. People like fast results. People like something to happen now. And I think most people wait until they need their credit versus getting it fixed before you need it. And I
Yeah,
think that's what the cause of,
they're
oh, he could
rushing.
fix mine now. Let me
Yep,
go to him because they're desperate. You know what I
yep,
mean?
yep.
And I think that's
And they
the
don't think.
no, they don't think
Right,
because I
right.
need this now. Versus if they come to you or they hear us talking about this video and they say, yeah, it takes time, for us to work on it because it takes 30 days for the bureau to respond. They
Right.
don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear 30
No,
days. They
no, they
want
don't want to hear the
7 days
truth.
deletion, they gone.
Yeah, they want to
So
fall for some credit sweep and then they get scammed when they find out there's no such thing as deleting everything off your credit. And the whole idea with that is a credit sweep, which means most of these people are filing a fraudulent police report, which is a federal crime, and then stating that all of those negative items are not yours and you
yeah,
have identity theft and all this nonsense. Yes, when you send in a police report to the credit bureaus, yes, they're going to temporarily delete that while they do an investigation. Now, once that investigation comes back and you're liable for all of those accounts, that credit sweep comes back on you. So,
yeah. So it comes back
there
on
was a
you.
girl in Houston. She was just arrested like 2 years ago for filing credit sweep fraudulent police reports. And these people are so stupid, it came right back on them. So,
Yeah.
I get a lot of people who call, a lot of people who reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you do a credit sweep? Or, can you delete everything on my credit within 10 days? If not, I don't want to sign up. And I'm like, bruh, how do these people fall for this? It's just insane because
Yeah.
if that was true, nobody on earth would have bad credit. It's crazy people fall for this stuff. I used to feel bad for people because honestly, I thought people didn't know much about credit because we weren't taught about this in school. So people didn't realize it's no such thing as deleting or sweeping everything off of your credit in 10 days. But it got to the point people purposely only wanted to know if you can delete everything off of their credit within a snap of a finger. So I just stopped feeling bad for people. I'm like, look, if you don't see that this is a scam from a mile away, that's your own fault at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you gotta people make their choices or whatever. I mean, I learned that or whatever. I
Yep.
definitely, you can't save everybody.
No,
Like,
not at all.
um, like I remember one time when somebody was like, "Hey, you can get these inquiries off," and it was just something simple as an inquiry, and I was like, "Hey, you
Yeah.
don't want to get this one off anyway because it's yours.
Yeah.
So this is a real inquiry anyway. That
Yeah.
is because it's attached to a positive account. We
Right.
gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. They see the
So
account attached to it
yeah,
that you've been making
so
payments on.
yeah, so they tried to go get it from somebody else, and they closed their account, and I'm already knowing what's
Exactly.
happened. They
Right.
said that account, that inquiry wasn't theirs or
Yep.
whatever. That's attached to a positive account.
There
Must
you
have sent the
go.
report, and then what happened was they closed their account, and their credit score actually dropped from that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
For losing
From
positive credit history.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
I mean, like I say, so basically me sitting up there being honest, and that's when it comes to me being honest and then telling you the truth. Hey, this inquiry right here need to stay anyway.
Right.
And you want it off because supposedly inquiries make your credit go bad, but I mean bad, your score drop, but you don't want too many of them.
Right.
But They wanted them all gone. I told them the truth. Somebody, they must have went to somebody else. They made it sound real good and juicy and stuff like that or whatever.
Right.
And then, you called me. And the reason why I know the story, because you called me afterwards. They called me afterwards and asked me what else I could do about it. And I was like, oh, I told you about it. They must have disputed that inquiry we was talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, there's nothing that I could do about that now. And it was like, okay, they basically hung up because they were mad, but and I kind of said, I told you, not like I told you so. I probably did say it like that. I told you so. I ain't mean to do it though, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
no,
had
I
a
mean, just go ahead.
Yeah, I had a crazy situation about 2 months ago, man. I had a new customer that signed up for Sturgis Credit Repair, and I told her, the very first round, it's 30 days before the credit bureaus even respond to us. And man, I kid you not, every 2 days she would call or send an email. Hey, what's the update? Hey, what changed? What's the update? And I'm like, ma'am, what are you expecting to happen here? There's nothing that's going to change in your credit report a day or two later. This stuff has to be mailed. All of our documents are mailed to the credit bureaus. It takes 3 to 5 business days for USPS to ship mail to the credit bureaus, depending on which state it goes to, and then the credit bureaus investigate that for 30 days. So she eventually was like, "Oh well, I seen this other guy. He's on Instagram and he can credit sweep me." In under 10 days and delete everything off of my credit if I pay him $2,500. And I said, ma'am, how on earth are you going to fall for that? Now, we offer a first month free trial. This guy is offering
Yeah,
2,500 to sign up and sweep everything off of her credit. That's two violations in one or three. Number one, advance
yeah,
fees, which violates the Credit Repair Organization Act to prevent scams like that. That's one violation. Number two, offering or stating that he or she can sweep their credit, which is illegal, which also isn't true, and then filing a fake police report claiming identity theft, which is going to come back on her anyway. That's a third violation. So I mean, I'm like, bruh, how do these people fall for crazy scams like this? And then they come back months later. Hey, I got scammed. I need to know exactly what you do, how you do, which you should have been doing that in the first place. I don't blame the consumer for trying to do their research and making sure they're hiring somebody
yeah.
legit. But at the
Hmm.
same time, you fell for something crazy and non-realistic. Now you think everyone in the industry is the bad guy, and someone that you used previously that did things correctly and did things by the law, you no longer trust that person, or you think they're the bad guy too because you fell for something that was stupid. But it's just things in this industry, man. It's like it's almost the same thing repeats itself, but then at a sense, it's like new stuff happens every single week. It's
Hmm.
like, man, I've been in this industry for years now, and still to this day, new stuff still happens that I haven't even heard of before. It's funny, but it's also crazy.
Man, it's crazy that you said that because I just had a client. I never had one this bad before, and she was like every 2 days, and I'm like, hey, hey, the first time she asked, hey, is everything all right? Is everything good on you? And I say, hey, yeah, we sent everything off. That's what that notification was about. It said it was sent.
Yeah.
I have an update in 30 days. 3 days later, hey, I'm just any updates yet? I'm like, I'm like, okay, so hey, ma'am, you will actually be able to see an update before I do. If you have Credit Karma, it is your Vantage scores, but you will be able to see if stuff in dispute, delete. It kind of lets you know before we know,
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on a little bit, stuff happening. Another day later, hey, any update? You know, I'm like, and the thing about it is, I try to be, I do treat people with respect all the time, and I
Hmm.
try to make sure that, I'm doing the best I can
Right.
with respect and not seem aggravated. But, sometimes, man, when you tell someone, hey, look, in 30 days, that's when I'll be able to update you. That's just what it is.
Hmm.
We're not no magic genies, bro. We can't make the bureau say, hey, we go prioritize your letters or whatever. Think about it. You also got to be like logical and think about how many other people getting their disputes process. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like
It
10,000
didn't
disputes a
even,
day.
yeah, it's not even reaching your letter didn't even reach the inbox yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You know, so just give it time or whatever, man. Just give it time and just be patient or whatever.
Yeah.
And stay off TikTok because TikTok can have you thinking you could go get a $50,000 loan right after you create an LLC. I mean, with no credit. I
Yeah.
mean, like, so just
Yeah.
stay off of TikTok thinking all
Make
this
you go
stuff
from a
because
400 credit score to 800 credit score in 1 week.
yeah,
Sweep
because at the end of the
everything.
day, what that is people just want views. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
They're
social media
content
is,
creators. They're not
yeah,
credit
content
repair
creators or
companies.
whatever. So they're making money off of creating these views, these videos that
Right.
got false information that keep getting shared. And what it
Exactly.
is it's making our business or us to actually operate our business
Yeah.
and make
Look
us
bad.
look like a scam
Yeah.
because it takes time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you listening to this. So
Yeah, content creators versus actual business owners. If they
yes,
if they were, and this is another thing. A guy reached out. I want to say maybe 3 weeks ago from one of my social media ads, and the very first thing in his email, it was like, "Hey, there's a guy right now. He's in Miami, Florida, and if I pay him $2,000." He can sweep everything off of my credit within 10 days. However, he's only taking 5 clients per month. And I said, okay, what business limits themselves to how many customers they handle per? If you're in business, you're trying to focus on getting more customers, not less customers. That's like Walmart. If Walmart said, "Hey, we're only letting 5 people shop our stores every single month," they would never be in business. So the fact that this guy is stating he's only helping 5 people a month, one, he's a content creator, not a credit repair company. Number
yeah,
two, this method of this credit suite, which is, like I said, filing a fake police report, which is going to bounce back
yeah.
on you anyway. That's illegal. That's a felony. So, it's so many things going wrong with this, but it's like, man, people fall for these misleading things every single day and they don't want to hear the real. They just rather hear something on Instagram and TikTok that's not real.
So I'm gonna tell you, majority of that is a marketing tactic.
Yeah.
So, um, and that's really to make people jump on. Oh, I got to do this 2,000 now because there's only 5 people. Let me hurry up and get that. I bet you if
Exactly.
10 people in your house I bet you if 10 people in your house sign up at the same time, all of them,
Yeah,
y'all all
yeah.
gonna fit in them 5 slots.
Exactly. And I preach about this all the time, like
Yeah,
not just credit repair, but I have a lot of friends of mine. They see me start Sturgis Credit Repair from zero, all by myself years ago and built what I have now with, nationwide awareness, thankfully. But I have a lot of people that started a hot shop business or started, a roofing business and started all these
man.
other businesses, landscaping and things like that. And a lot of people use me to a sense as, not really a mentor, but more of guidance and advice. I guess that's mentorship, but not directly. But a lot of people, came to me for advice and things like that. And I said, look, growing your business in this world, you need some heavy marketing. Do not be like
Mhm.
these fools talking about 3 spots left. That is the worst marketing ever because one, you're limiting yourself. And two, yeah, to a sense, that's gonna make people be like, oh God, I gotta do it now. But to a sense, they're going to be like, oh, them 3 spots are gone. Or, I hear everybody claim there's only 3 spots left. I'm not going to take them seriously. No, you need to promote your business based on results of what you actually do, not based on how many spots you have left. Because if you're just stating that you have 3 spots left, no one is ever going to sign up for that.
Yeah,
It's just you have to show actual hard work, dedication to what you do, show that you actually love what you do, and provide results that you actually give for your customers. So, don't ever fall
yeah.
for all this 3 spot left type of stuff.
Yeah, I when I do like a sale, it's been a while since I did one because I tell people my price is already a sale.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's already a sale. But when I did one, I like to do it by like if I did a Black Friday, I'd say, hey, you have to the end of 11:59
Yeah.
this sale is
Deadline.
gonna be. You got a deadline, so it gives everybody an opportunity to do it.
Right.
That's my thing. I did, see people, I did see people be successful with that. Saying it only got 20 spots or some XYZ or whatever, but typically, I look at that from a different angle as a business owner now.
Yeah.
some things could be treated like a hustle and some things could be treated like a business. You know,
Yeah,
what do you
yeah.
want? A hustle? You want a hustle or do you want a business? You know?
Right. Exactly.
And
Yeah, that's true
that
because a business isn't making any type of marketing campaigns like that, limiting how many people can sign up for their service. You know, they want unlimited spots available, you know?
yeah, and they put the time on it. You know, they give
Hmm.
everybody opportunity, a fair chance.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not the first one sees it, you know, which that's crazy because like I say, if you got 5 spots and 10 of us sign up, the 5 spots go fit all of us, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but that's man, I don't like that type of marketing, so I try not to, even touch that, you know.
Hmm.
I try to keep it as professional as I can, you know. Um, it's like I said, bro, you could really it's a slippery slope dealing in this credit business or whatever that where the things you post or the things you seem could kind of have you in the scams or whatever. And I'm trying to separate myself from the scams as far as possible, you know.
Hmm.
So that's why try to watch what I post, watch what I say. I don't guarantee results, you know. But at the end of the day, I guarantee the only thing I say I guarantee is, hey, look, if you follow my plan, our plan or whatever, and we stay consistent, we will see some type of results, you know. Because if you building your credit score, if you building your credit profile and you getting the things that you need to build it, then you're going to grow. We're going to grow your credit profile. We just have to do it together. You have to do your part, I do my part, and
That's
we'll
it.
get somewhere.
Stirgus credit repair. Stirgus credit repair. If you want a new house, call us.